guys, it's ToProForuGames or Adam, and we're back with another Fortnite top 5 video. And in today's top 5, I'll be going over 5 things you should never do here in Fortnite. And before we get into the video, I do want to quickly mention that tomorrow the Season 3 Battle Pass comes out. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give away a bunch of PSN and Xbox codes so you guys can go ahead and buy the new Battle Pass. Since the Battle Pass is relatively cheap, that way I can give out a bunch of codes. So to enter, all you have to do is drop a like and let me know in the comment section below what platform do you play Fortnite on. Is it PC, PS4, or Xbox One? Now, we're not done yet. Just to prove to you guys that I'm not kidding around with this giveaway, because there are a ton of fake giveaways with Fortnite videos. Somewhere in this video, I have hidden 2 $10 PSN US cards, and that is just enough to buy a battle pass. So I have them hidden in the video, so it's first come, first serve. While you're watching the video, keep an eye out for these codes, and if you don't get one of those two, remember, you can still enter by dropping a like and commenting what platform you play Fortnite on, and I'll give more codes away just after the battle pass comes out. There are always times here in Fortnite where we have these really lame avoidable deaths in Fortnite, and that's kind of what I want to focus on in today's video. I want to go over a couple of things that you should really keep in mind when playing Fortnite so you can avoid these really stupid deaths and hopefully get to end game and actually get the win. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and drop a like on today's video. That'd be amazing. Subscribe if you are new to the channel for more Fortnite top 5 videos. And besides that, guys, let's go ahead and go over 5 things you should never do here in Fortnite. So coming in at the number 5 spot on my list, we gotta talk about getting killed by traps and avoiding these deaths, because getting killed by traps is hands down one of the most annoying things here in Fortnite, or frustrating, because it's something you can completely avoid, and even if it doesn't kill you, it can take out like all your shield and almost all your health, and you're left with nothing. One of the most common ways to get killed by a trap is by entering a house or any kind of building, because what a lot of people do when they get a trap when looting at the beginning of the match is they'll just throw that trap down in a random spot and hope that someone runs into that trap later on in the game. And it doesn't happen a ton, but it's happened to me a couple of times, and it is literally just infuriating getting killed by that. And whenever you enter a house, just make sure you look around, especially in that front door. Look up, look down, make sure there's no trap, and then enter. But just constantly be looking at the ceiling for traps, because people will place them absolutely everywhere. Another common way to get killed by a trap is, one thing a lot of people are doing now is they're putting traps inside of their standard builds, just a 4 walls and a staircase to head glitch. A lot of people like to throw traps in there because people will actually rush you, jump inside your build, and then shotgun you, right? So if someone decides to do that and you have a trap in there, you'll insta-kill them. So that's something a lot of people have started doing. So keep in mind, when you're rushing somebody with your shotgun, you build up to their build, don't just jump in there, because you probably could get killed by a trap, and that definitely isn't fun, especially when you kill them and you go to loot their stuff, you jump in there and you insta-die. That is really, really frustrating. So next time you're playing Fortnite, don't just blindly run into, houses, buildings, other people's builds, and not expecting anything to happen, because you never know where a trap could be placed. I know it sounds kind of obvious, like, of course, you want to watch out for traps, but it's kind of crazy how many people die by these things, including myself. It's just sometimes they're in such weird places and you're not always looking, but when you do play, keep in mind the traps can be anywhere. So coming in at the number 4 spot on my list, assuming you have enough materials, and this is an interesting one. The reason why I decided to put this on this list is because this is something that you don't really think about all that much, how much materials you have, because if you're somebody who gets a good amount of kills every game, like 5-10 kills a game, and you loot the other player, you're probably going to get a good amount of materials from the other players, especially if, it's mid-game and you're getting those kills. Awesome, you're going to have a lot of stuff, but the thing is, you might get a healthy amount of wood and brick and steel, but the thing is, throughout the game, you use a lot of that stuff, especially if you're building over mountains, or you're making these quick bases to heal, or you make one base and then move because the circle moves, you can run out of materials pretty quickly and not even realize it. It's ironic because I was actually just playing a game of Fortnite, and I remember in that game, towards the middle of the game, I had like 600 wood. I didn't have much brick, I didn't have much steel, but I had 600 wood. I'm like, I'm gonna be absolutely fine for the rest of the game, and I got to a top 10 situation, and I was 1v1ing one guy, and I completely ran out of materials, and I was so confused. I'm spamming it. I'm like, I had so much wood, and I look down, I have absolutely nothing left. So it can happen, and I know there are times where I'm shooting at somebody and they're building, and all of a sudden they stop building for some reason, and I get the kill, and that's probably because they ran out of materials. So it's a good idea to look down and see how much you have, or at least switch if you're running out of, you know, wood, brick, or steel, because you never know when you're going to need a large amount in a short period of time. So coming in at the number 3 spot on my list, saving your shield is something that a lot of people do, and you should never, ever do this. This is one thing that will get you killed all the time. And what I mean by saving your shield is, for example, let's say you come across a regular standard shield that gives you 50% shield. Some people will find that and go, you know what, I actually want to get a mini shield first so I can get half of my shield with the mini shield and the other half with the regular shield, and then I'll have 100 shield, which is, you know, sounds like a good idea, but the thing is, if you run into somebody while finding that mini shield and you didn't have a shield on, there's a good chance you're not going to win that gunfight, and then you'll give the other player your shield that you didn't use. The same thing applies for something like a chug jug or even a med kit. If you come across a med kit and you have 90 health or 80 health, don't save it for when you really need it, because that 20 health could keep you alive. And same with the chug jug. Say you have 20 shield and you have full health, why not use a chug jug and get max shield and max health? Like, a lot of people will save these things, and that might come in handy. The goal is you always want to have as much health and as much shield as possible. Don't save anything because it will come in handy. Sometimes it won't, but a lot of the time it actually will save your life. So don't save it, use it right away. So coming in at the number 2 spot on my list, looting after killing somebody. Now, I mentioned this in a previous top 5 I did. I think it was 5 things that bad players do in Fortnite, and looting after killing somebody is something, I don't want to say you should absolutely never do it, because there are times where obviously you're going to loot after killing somebody. It's just the right place, right time. But in most cases, you shouldn't just kill somebody and then like run out in the open and loot them right away, because there might be somebody nearby. There might be somebody who heard those shots and might have seen the loot. And what I do a lot of the time is I'll kill somebody, especially if it's in the open, an open area, or if it's getting close to end game. I'll kill somebody and I'll use their loot as a trap, because someone will most likely come after a minute or two and start looting, and I'll get an easy kill. Now, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it can be tough when you kill somebody and they drop really good loot. They have that gold scar or that gold RPG, gold sniper, the shield, whatever you might need. You kill them, they drop it, and your eyes just light up, and you run out there and you get killed, right? It's just, it's not fun, and it sucks, because then you're not gonna even get the stuff and you're dead and you're searching for a new game. So when you loot somebody, just be kind of cautious. Again, it depends on the situation. You'll know when and when not to loot somebody. Just be careful, be cautious, use that loot as bait, and you'll be good. So coming in at the number 1 spot on my list, if there's one thing you can take from this list, it should be this. And I just want to say, this is incredibly obvious. If you're a good player, don't even worry about this, because you probably don't do this, but so many new players, I would assume, do this. Don't stand still. Like, I don't understand why people still do this. It's kind of an obvious thing, I think. Standing still equals death, especially against snipers, but honestly, against anything. When somebody stands still, it's just, you're an easy target. I don't care what you're doing. Always try to be moving around. And one thing a lot of people do, this ties in to what we just talked about in the 2 spot. They'll run up to some loot and they'll just stand there. And it's just like, no, dude, you're an easy kill when you do that. They'll just stand there for a couple of seconds. I don't know what they're doing, changing their inventory. If you're gonna loot somebody, loot and run around in circles while you're looting it, okay? If you're gonna drop things, quickly, you know, drop it and move. You know, don't just stand there in one spot because you're such such an easy target. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to absolutely every single situation. There are times where you definitely have to stand still. For example, when you're sniping, right? You don't want to be moving when you're sniping because your shot's gonna go who knows where. But, you know, if you're gonna snipe, don't sit there for like 5 minutes scoping on the same spot or surveying with your sniper. You gotta just, when you're gonna shoot, you wanna stand still for that 1 second when you shoot, and then again, move right away. Same thing for, you know, your AR. When you're shooting with the AR, you wanna be crouched, you wanna be standing still, you'll be more accurate, but don't stand still for like 45 minutes, right? Take your shots and then keep moving. Just keep moving in this game. It will make you a lot harder to hit, and you'll definitely do a lot better. So there we have it, guys. Those are 5 things you should never do here in Fortnite Battle Royale. And I know some of these things are kind of obvious, especially for those of you who are more experienced at the game, but for those of you who are newer to the game, keep these things in mind because these are really, really basic things that you shouldn't be dying by. And, you know, even to this day, sometimes I run into traps, or I'm standing still too long, or I get excited because I see a gold scar and I want to loot it, and somebody kills me because they're smart. But it happens. It's frustrating when it happens to you, but just keep these things in mind and will definitely help you get better at Fortnite Battle Royale. And of course, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to drop a like on today's video. That'd be amazing. Subscribe for more Fortnite top 5 videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.